What questions do you have for me? Bring it on. Let's sort it once and for all. Let's sort it once and for all. If you have any question, bring it here. Let's sort it once and for all. Wow. So I have 8 people watching me on Facebook and 2 people watching me on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, guys. While I wait for questions to come, I will tell us a story. This story is about a lady that went to work. So they were asked to give residents shower. But you know, your duty is to offer. Even though the management says, bring everybody out. Even though the management says, oh, we don't want anyone in the room. You still have to seek for their consent. And when they accept, that is when you can bring them out or give them anything. So this particular girl, she's naive. She's new to care. She don't know anything. She's so scared of losing her job. So she went into that resident room. In order to get the resident to shower, he poured water on the resident. And this resident slipped, hit the head on the floor. Instead of her to ring for help, she went and started dragging the resident to see if they can bring the resident up. She couldn't manage, she couldn't bring the resident up because the person is already on the floor. When she called for help, help finally came. And she wanted to explain what happened. That she poured water on the resident just to give the resident shower, following what the manager said. To her own surprise, the manager said, I never asked anybody to force anybody to shower. Yes, I gave order, bring them out. But your duty is to seek for consent. Ask them if they are happy to come out. You bring them out. If they are not happy, your duty is to document that this person is not happy to come out. So the manager exonerated himself and the resident was taken to hospital. Unfortunately, he did not survive it. So this thing I'm telling you now is a real life story. I also have a twist of it where it was the resident that pushed down the caregiver, because according to her, she said, I told her that she can only wash down, but she went and poured water on me. So why am I telling this? Anything that will warrant you to force them for anything that will warrant you to be like, oh no, I am doing this, not because they want it, but because they have given you order to do it. Because somebody from somewhere said, you must have to bring this person out. Now you want to go and drag them out. Now you want to go and drag them out. Do you know that I was not even aware that people are dropping comments here. What is the difference between autism and dementia? Interview questions. Amarashi said the interview question. Then I want to say, what is the difference between autism and dementia? So, Amarashi, when you talk about interview questions, there are so many interview questions we have, but someone came to my inbox to say that all those interview questions, that it is no longer what they are asking, that they have changed everything. And I made a video regarding that to let us know that interview questions cannot be changed. Interview questions cannot be changed. It cannot be changed because the job is still the same. The job remains the same. So if the only thing is that they ask you questions in different ways, but that same question is seeking for the same answer. It is still seeking for the same answer. Hi, peace. I will give you an example. If they ask you during an interview, what is your understanding about safeguarding? Now, they want you to tell them what you know about safeguarding. Safeguarding is all about protecting the resident, the vulnerable people you care for, from all forms of abuse, harm, and neglect. That is your understanding about safeguarding. Now, it is left for you to go deeper, to tell them that abuse can be of different form. You start listing different forms of abuse. It is also left for you to tell them what you mean by neglect. That when you don't give a resident food, you don't offer them shower, you don't do this one, that is you neglecting the resident. Okay, so it is up to you how deep you want to go. And I used to encourage people to go deep whenever they are answering questions, because when you go deeper while answering your question, you are doing yourself a lot of good by shortening other questions they will ask you. Because once they ask you questions about safeguarding, sure, they will ask you about abuse and neglect. But if you answer safeguarding and you go deeper to say forms of abuse, what you will do, you have abused the resident, what you will do, it means that you have neglected this person. Those questions will not come again. And now that confidence with communication will be there. Somebody sent me a message. She said she went for NHS nursing something interview. She failed. Luckily for her, they gave her feedback. Now the feedback they said is that her answers were not relatable, and she haven't mastered the act of communication. That thing can only come up when you answer questions. You know, when they ask you questions, you just answer with few words. You know, few. What is your understanding about safeguarding? You tell them safeguarding is all about protecting the resident from anything that will cause them harm or pain. Then you keep quiet. They are listening for you to say more things, but you kept quiet. That could cause you to fail your interview. Now, coming back to what I was saying, what is your understanding about safeguarding? They can ask you this question in 10 different ways. Let me list it for you. I have, what do you think? Why do you think safeguarding is important in care setting? Why do you think it's important in care setting? It is still a question about safeguarding. They can ask you, how do you ensure that the vulnerable adults in your care is being protected from abuse and harm? It is still a question about abuse and harm. Now, if you had gone deeper on the first one, where they ask you your understanding about safeguarding, if you had gone deeper to tell them that when you take a resident money, it is financial abuse, you are not allowed to do so because they are likely to go bankrupt, go broke. When you tell them that when you hit a resident, when you shout on them, that is emotional abuse, that is physical abuse, you are not allowed to do so. You see, that question of how do you ensure that the vulnerable adults in your care are being protected from abuse? So when you don't shout at them, when you don't hit them, you are ensuring that is you making sure that they are being protected. You make sure that the floor they are walking on, there is no water. that will slip them and make them fall. That is you ensuring that these residents are being protected. Why is this thing not going up? So I can see people's answer. So that same question on safeguarding, they could also ask, what would you do if you suspect a resident is being neglected or abused? What would you do when you see that a resident is being neglected or abused? It is still question based on abuse. So in that case, when you as a staff notice that, so I think I posted that video here. When you notice that somebody is abusing a resident, what do? You have to stop them. You have to intervene. You have to stop them. Don't do this. Then you must have to document it and you must have to report it. So you are sitting down there interviewing you, they say, yeah, you found out a staff or somebody is abusing a resident. What do? See, because you are seeing it, you witness, you have to stop them. Please stop. Maybe they are rough handling the person, they want to hoist the person alone, or they want to carry the person from the wheelchair into the bed without using hoist. You have to stop them. Hello, can you stop this? Don't do it. You are harming the resident. Don't do it. You are causing them pain. You have to stop them. Ensure their safety. Then you have to document it, what you see, stating it exactly the way it is, and you have to report it. So that is what to do when you notice such. That same question on abuse, they can ask you, how do you promote safeguarding within your team? So interview questions have not changed. It is still the same, but they can ask it in different form. But when you are mastered how to answer this question, whatever or however or whichever way they throw that question, you should come up with an answer, because that answer will still link you to other things. If you have any particular question, you can drop it, then we'll answer. If you have any question, you ask me. I got message in my inbox. That's what I'm reading. I don't want to be talking. This thing, they are all in my videos. I don't want to be talking. Okay, I have another thing here. Can you give an example of how you have advocated for a resident who is vulnerable? What contributions have you made in your current Oh, sorry, somebody asked before. Please, could you throw more light on autism and dementia? Guys, autism, when they give birth to somebody, the little I know, because I'm not specialized in autism, I am specialized in dementia. Autism, if they give birth to somebody that have autism, they born them with it, and they diagnose them that this person have got autism. I'm not sure that they will give birth to somebody who is normal. Along the line, they will develop autism. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not. It's not my specialty. But dementia is something that progresses. I am not sure if autism progresses. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if autism progresses. If my husband is here, I would have asked him. I'm not sure if autism progresses, but for dementia, which is my field, it is highly progressive, and it goes as the person's age is. If the person is growing old, it becomes worse. So, but for autism, I don't know, because this is not my field. Both of them are neurological issues, cognitive. I also know that people with autism, they've got larger brain, they have social problem, inability to interact or so. Some of them, they cannot even cope with noise and all that. But dementia is not like that. Dementia, they are normal people growing, became old from age of 60-65, they will start forgetting things. Somebody with autism may not even be forgetful, but somebody living with dementia, very, very forgetful. As they are growing old, it's becoming worse and worse and worse. Okay, so you might have to read it up about autism, because that is not my field. But the only thing I know is that people are being born with it. They give birth to somebody and they say, oh, this person is autistic. But you can't give birth to someone and they say, this person have got dementia. I don't know if you understand. So autism is not my field, and I don't have any business reading about them. My field is dementia. Okay? Who asked that? I think somebody have asked that question. I purposely ignored it because I don't know what they want me to say about that. So, Ezu Machinwe, what contributions have you made in your current role to better the care goals of your company? Wow, that is a wonderful question. Okay, now they want to know what contributions, value have you um what values have you put in, or what values have you brought to the company you are working to better their care goal. For example, I, as a person, where I am working, each individual have got their care plan, and each of them have got care goal. In general, my home, we have this goal to improve at least up to 90% in infection control. Okay, so I'll answer it from that aspect before I go down to personal, going down to resident files and all that. So I make sure as a person that whenever I am offering a resident personal care, I make sure that everything I need to do that is ready, available for that person in the room. I don't go in with one glove, and while giving personal care, I will rush out to get another glove. No, I make sure that everything is in there, and after I go in there with the right bag, the right color bag I should use. And when I finish, I make sure I pack everything in there, make sure that everything is okay. Then I take it out. I do this. If I want to dispose the bin, I already know which color bin I should use and all that. So if there is any form of inspection going on in the home, knowing or without knowing, they cannot meet you unaware. And I also checkmate on my colleagues, making sure that they do the same. Ensuring good hand hygiene. If anybody gives personal care, I make sure that they go to have good hand wash. And we've been doing it for over time, and the last check that was done, we scored 95. So this is my personal contribution in my care home, because one of our goal is that the last check they did, they said we have poor infection control. Poor infection control. It was very, very poor. Our infection control was very bad. They see people going out, rushing in from the room to get gloves, their PPEs. They see people, doing all sorts of things. They don't care because nobody was there to train them. Nobody was there to tell them this is what they should do, this is what they shouldn't do. And after that, I took it upon myself to make sure that we always do the right thing. I always checkmate my mate and all that. And when they came back again, we scored 95. So I don't know if that, Chinagorom, I don't know if that answers your question. So this is what I have been doing personally to support that goal, to make sure that that goal is achieved. Now, going down to residents. Chinagorom, did you pick any points there? Let me know before I move to the next one. Chinagorom, I don't know if you are there. That question made my interview unsuccessful in NHS because I lost a thought. Imagine as a care. Oh dear. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just they want to know what you have contributed as a person. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought you are preparing, so you ask. And I want to also go deep into resident files, singling out different residents, what their care goals are, and how my own input help in achieving that goal. I will still tell you just in case. Yeah? Just in case another time. Also, like I said before, there are so many things that I have done to contribute to the value, or you picked a point, yeah, to contribute to the value or making sure that the goal of my company is achieved. Number one is that of infection control. That thing is a real life experience. I'm being honest with you. Real life. Sometime 2022, the infection control of where I was working was very poor. It was very poor due to some, a lot of things, and they failed us. Now, after failing us, they put us in training, tell us things we should do, how we have to do it, a hand hygiene, this one, that one, and yes. So after that, we put it in. I took it upon myself. I do what I should do. I also checkmate others to make sure they are doing the right thing. You get it now? So I hope that helped. Now, going down to personal resident file, I've got a resident whose mobility is very poor. This woman is not able to stand up. Very, very poor. So what do I do? The care goal is to support the resident to become as independent as she can. Become very independent as she can. So what I do is that in the morning, when I get her up from the bed, I try to walk her with Zimmer frame, even if it's 5-6 steps. Then I allow her sit on the wheelchair, do whatever thing I want to do. During activity, instead of allowing them to sit down and be watching, I make sure that I support her to stand up. We were doing activity, more of dancing, more of throwing ball. Whenever she throws ball, she's exercising her hand, more of dancing, slow and steady. We were doing it. It wasn't something that happened overnight, but this was consistently, happening. I work 4 times in a week, so those 4 days I work, I make sure I engage that particular woman in activity. This was happening over the time. After some time, she was now able to stand up on her own using the Zimmer frame, go to the toilet. Now, instead of me using the wheelchair to move her from the dining to the lounge, we use Zimmer frame. We walk some few steps, we sit down, we sing, we dance, we get up. It can take us like 30 minutes to get to the lounge. But because I have a goal, and we were doing this, after some time, as I'm telling you now, she no longer uses Zimmer frame, she just uses walking stick. And that credit was given to me because I took it upon myself. This is what they want us to do. That maybe at the end of the year or at a certain point, it is expected that there should be changes. But when the changes came, it wasn't rapid anyway, but it was overwhelming because they didn't expect that woman can walk without Zimmer frame, and she can be able to walk from dining to the sitting room to anywhere just with walking stick. So that is me bringing out my time, and this is how I've also helped to make sure that this goal is well achieved. So when next they ask you about your contribution, think of something that you have done specially, because when they talk something about contribution, they have to see something exceptional in you. It's not like what every other person is doing. No, that same question could be telling them about a time you did something extraordinary, or a time you went out of your way to do something for a patient of a resident, and there was a positive what is it called, outcome, positive result. You get my point now? So that question could be, if I happens to be you and they ask me to tell them about the positive contributions I have made, what will come to my mind is when I have gone out of my way to do something. So this question is still the same thing, seeking for same answer, your contributions, your value. Do you get it now, Chinagoram? So I don't know what job interview you are going for. What is the job position? If I have anything at the back of my mind, I can also ship it in here. So that question you asked me, I think I have it here. Yeah, I have it here. Tell us about a time you went above and beyond to do something extraordinary for a resident and it brought about positive results. Tell us about a time you went out of your way. So that is it. Chinago, what job position are you going for? Is it healthcare assistant? Is it support worker? Somebody also told me in the comment section after I posted the video, that video I made about, senior healthcare assistant, I'm coming for you. Prepare very well on medication. That, if it's care home, if it's NHS, you don't have any problem. You just have to prepare well on vital signs and all that. So I made a video where I talked about emergency numbers to call as a support worker. They asked her and she said 911. According to her, she said when she mentioned 911, they didn't even ask her further. They just said, "Oh, brilliant, and this will have come to the end of your interview." She went home. She didn't know. Now, when they sent her, unfortunately, they included that they are afraid as a support worker that she's not able to answer correctly the right emergency number to call. Being a lone worker, sometimes something can happen. I've worked as a support worker. There was this place in London. Trinary Care sent me. Then they were answering Sana Care. Now they are answering Trinary Care. I used to post job for them. They sent me there. I went for for a cover, and that night the girl had seizure. I didn't call Trinary. I called the emergency immediately. So sometimes if it's waking night or sleeping night, it doesn't matter. Most times as a support worker, you work alone. So you should know. That girl said in the comment section that they asked her the same question and she said she will call the manager. They asked her again. She just said she will call ambulance. But what they asked her was, what emergency number do you call? But finally, she got the job. According to her, she said it was a miracle that she got the job. But to be honest, she didn't know what to answer. And I was very surprised. Coming back to what that lady told me, that she don't know the right answer. She used to hear 911. But 911 doesn't exist in the UK. 911 is in America. What we call here is 999 for emergency. If it's not that emergency, you call 111 NHS. So a senior healthcare support worker, somebody went for that interview and she passed. She came back here to tell us that my video helped her to pass and get senior healthcare support worker in NHS. And I told her, please tell me the question they ask you. And she told me all the questions. I listed all the questions and I made a video about it. I'm trying to get the questions so we can use it for you, Shina Goram. Thank you, dear. They asked, I think, was it 9? Either 9 or 10. 10 questions they asked her. Okay, 9 NHS interview question. Yeah. Tell us about yourself. Why do you want to Okay, yeah. See it here. I've found it. I found it. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I found it. So, she said the first question they asked her was, tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. When they ask you this question, my dear, this is opportunity to sell yourself briefly. Tell them about yourself. Your name, briefly, like my name now is Obiageli Juliana Okoro. I won't tell them my name is Obiageli Juliana. No, I will tell them my name is Juliana. I'm a graduate of Nnamdi. I used to tell them my name is Juliana. I'm a graduate of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Or you can say your name is Chinagoro. You are a university graduate of so and so field. University graduate of biology, microbiology, or whatever. Full stop. You've been working as a healthcare assistant for the past 4 or 5 years, where you support the patient or the resident to do so and so, engaging them in activities, this and that. You are very caring and empathetic somebody, and currently you have achieved or acquired your NVQ level 3 in health and social care. Full stop. Go on. I've made about 4 videos on that. This is hitting point. Tell them your name, your university graduate, what you are doing, your highest level in that field. If it's NVQ3, if it's 2, if it's care certificate, what have you acquired? Briefly tell them about your job roles, your responsibility, your skills. I made mention of that you are a caring and empathetic individual. Or you can, even from the beginning, you can put it that when they ask you, you can say that I'm a very interesting person, I'm a very active, and what describes you most. Use it at the beginning. You're welcome. What describes you most? Use it at the beginning, and you are good to go. But don't make it so stretchy, because questions like, why do you want to work with us, might still come. So questions like, why do you want to become a carer, might still come. So if you exhaust everything in the first one, what do you tell them in the second one? So it is opportunity to sell yourself, but be very brief with it. Yeah? So the second question they ask her here is, how do you manage difficult patient at work while prioritizing your task? No, while prioritizing your time. If you notice, they merge two different questions here. How do you manage difficult patients? Number one. And why prioritizing your time? Now, to manage a difficult patient, first of all, it is by actively listening to them, actively observing them, connecting with them by communicating with them. Now, let me tell you something. Whenever you are answering questions, try and make sure you bring in every skill that you should. When a resident is becoming challenging, when a resident is difficult, what do? You communicate, you listen to them, actively listen to them, their concerns. There must be something bothering them. So if you listen to them attentively, they will tell you what is happening. You observe them. As they are talking to you, you are listening, you are observing them. You communicate with them, like you said something to them to help calm them down. You offer them what they like most. If it's cup of tea, I'm still coming, I will answer this question fully, but I'm just giving you steps. You offer them what they like, and in the end, what happened? They calmed down. Now, the other question attached to that, why prioritizing your time? So you have to be very brief because you know there are other tasks waiting for you. So let me answer this question. How do you manage a difficult patient at work while prioritizing your time? I walk up to the resident. While observing them, I pay very much attention, listening to what their concerns are. I communicated to the patient to understand what the concerns are, and after then, I calm the patient down by offering the patient what they like most. Because I was familiar with the care plan, I know that he or she likes coffee or tea or whatever. I offered it to them. They were very happy, and I gave it to them. By the time they finish it, they become very calm, and I moved on to the next person. So, how do you do this? A lot of things that I said now. You observe, you listen to their concern, you communicate with them, you offered solution, and in the end, there was a positive result. So whenever they are becoming challenging, this is what we do. It's not anything fake. You see a resident banging on the door. I want to go home. They kidnapped me. They did this one. They did the other one. Leave me alone. What do? We approach them. As we are approaching them, we are observing, because you need to observe to be sure that you are safe, they are safe. We observe, approach them calmly, communicate with them to understand what their concerns is. We listen to them attentively while they say whatever their concerns are, and after that, we offer solution by calming them down, telling them what will make them to calm down, and we also offer them what they like. This resident likes cup of tea or coffee, so I offered them what they like, and in the end, they calmed down. Me listening while working as a lone worker to a very complicated service user. Sorry about that, my dear. So the third question here, a patient who was brought into the ward by paramedics due to fall she had at home. It might be care home, it might be their home. What was the first thing to do before admitting the patient or give the patient bed? They ask her. As a healthcare assistant or senior healthcare assistant, when we go to hospital, we see them. Sometimes they will see you even before doctor will see you. Yeah. So what do? They check observation, they do body map, they record whatever thing they see before they pass the person on to the doctor that will see them, or before they will take the person to where they will stay, bed or whatever. pending when the doctor will see them. I remembered the day I got very sick. Ambulance came and took me to the hospital. The first person that attended to me was a senior healthcare assistant, or a healthcare assistant that came, check my ups, put the blood, the pressure I had, he checked all the ups, everything, the oxygen saturation, my blood pressure, the temperature, and she was, are you feeling pain and all that? She was recording. And after that, they moved me to a room. I was there when the doctor came. All right. So first of all, you have to do body map, because they said something there that this resident had a fall. They said something, they had a fall. So you must do body map. You must check that their body is fine, because if you don't do body map, they can wake, remember their skin are fragile, they can wake up in the morning and the color of their skin will change. Now they will start asking you questions. Did you check and all that? So that is the first thing to do. Number 4 question they ask her is a simple mathematics question. They said 250 ml of water was offered to a patient in the morning. In the afternoon, 250 ml was offered. In the evening, 500 ml was offered. Then I ask her, how many ml of water will you record that they have taken totally for the day? It is very simple. Very, very simple. In the morning, 250. In the afternoon, 250. That is 500. Now in the evening, 500, which is 1,000. Is that not 1 liter of water? So that is 1,000 ml. Is it not? Or 1,000 liter? That is what they have taken. So this one is simple mathematics. They can also ask you question. They said Juliana left home at 7:30. She got to the bus stop at 7:45. And she have 20 minutes to travel to work. What time will they get to work? What time? So somebody that left home 7:30 got to the bus stop 7:45. 7:30 to 7:45. How many minutes? 7:30, 7:35, 7:40, 7:45. Is it not 15 minutes? Now, they are at the bus stop 7:30 to 7:45, 15 minutes. It will take them 20 minutes to get to work. Is it not adding 20 minutes to that 15 minutes? Then you get the total time, their travel time to work. They can also ask you question. They said resident A should take maybe they used to draw if okay, this is medication now. Why is this person calling me? I'm on live. They will draw maybe something like a box, a tablet, a container, a container. 1 minute. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah?
Where you?
You can imagine I'm at home, they are calling me at work to ask me questions. I'll need to sue them. I need to sue them. I'm not working. I need to sue them. They shouldn't be calling me when I'm at home to ask me questions. So that box of medication this way, they will write on the body, maybe 30 tablets on the body. Yeah, 30 tablets inside that container. Now they would say, in the morning, this person will have to take 2. In the afternoon, this resident have to take 2. In the night, they will have to take 2. And that tablet, that box, it is expected that they will have that medication for 3 days. Now they will ask you, how many tablets will the patient or the resident consume in that 3 days? This is simple maths. Yeah, day one, they will have to take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the night. Day two, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the night. Day three, the same thing. So each day they are taking 2 into 3. So each day they take 6 tablets. Each day they take, if you got the answer, let us know under the comment section. These are the type of mathematics they ask. Because why am I saying this? They won't allow you to use calculator. There is no calculator there. There is no calculator. Hey, God, there are so many. There is no calculator there. These things are simple mathematics. So if in one day they will have to take 2, 2, 2 into 3 places. Second day they will have to take the same thing. Third day. So how many in total will they take in 3 days? Even sometimes they will bring back the question down to number 3 and said from that 3 days, you know, the total amount they have from the 3 days, how many do you think will remain in that container? Remember, the container have got 30 tablets inside. So these are simple mathematics they ask. That's why they sometimes they will, during essential criteria, or you know, when you were applying for the job, one of the essential criteria will be GCE or something, English and maths. The mathematics is element, yeah, 18. The first person that got it is Omoye. Omoye got it, and Momodu the same thing. So these things are simple mathematics. Be it NHS, be it in the care home, it is a simple math. So when they tell you that you have mathematics to write and all that, do not be scared. It's nothing. It is nothing. These 3 illustrations I gave you now is exactly what they are asking. How do I know? I have gone for interview. If I can't say I've gone for interview and I'm tired. I am not tired because it exposes me the more. People go for interview and they also come back to tell me, look at what they ask us. So it is very simple, not difficult. Don't go to interview and fail it. Confidence. Tell them, this thing you are asking me, I've been doing it though. I've been doing it. I cared for my mom. When my mom was sick, I've been doing it. I will go to the pharmacy and buy medication. They will say, give 2 in the morning, give 2 in the afternoon. I cannot give 2 in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night. 12 is left. Thank you, my sister. So it's very simple. Just very simple. They want to check if you know simple mathematics. Yeah, very simple. The next question they ask her, in a situation where you got to a patient ward, you met them on the floor, what will you do? I said something before at the beginning. If a question is a case of fall, somebody had a fall, what do you do? A case of fall is the same everywhere. Number one is that you must not bring them up. Never. You must not drag the person up from where they are. No. It is expected that somebody might have a fall. It is expected. So when they have a fall, do not panic and say, oh, they fall down because I was the one caring for them. No. For you are even walking somebody and they lean back and fall down. It is not your fault. You are not allowed or expected to put your hand like this and hold them so they won't fall. However, both of you fall down. The only thing is that make sure that you are using the right skill on how to walk the person. Or maybe you are hoisting somebody up and they fall off. Two persons are there hoisting, doing the hoisting. You check. The people that used to check the hoist checked and they said everything is okay, the sling is fine. You can't, what am I saying? You cannot prevent somebody from falling down. So whenever they fall down, be it witnessed or unwitnessed. Witness is when you were there looking at the person and they fall down, so you can be able to explain how they fell. Unwitnessed was you just walk into the room and the person fall down. You saw that the person is on the floor. That is unwitnessed. And that's exactly what they ask her here. Unwitnessed for. She walked into a resident ward into a patient ward and found the person on the floor, what do? You ring for help. Like I said before, we do risk assessment, we communicate with the person, we call for help. What this thing I'm mentioning now, we do it within a twinkle of an eye. It doesn't take time. You just open the person's door. You will glance, we call it glancing. You will have to look around. Why is she on the floor? Why is he on the floor? You have to look to see. That looking is risk assessment. Is there any water on the floor? Is there any empty, maybe there is water, they slip and fall. If you don't look well, you just rush in. You will fall. Is there any open wire on the floor? Could they have if you don't scan, you might also be stuck as well. You get what I mean? So, but this thing is, we do it very quick. It is very quick. As you're doing that, you are going close to the person. Are you okay? As you are asking that person question, you are ascertaining, you want to find out if they are being responsive. Are they responding? Is the person saying, oh, I had a fall, I roll out of the bed, or are they able to communicate? If someone had a fall and you ask them question, if they were able to communicate, to start telling how they fall, that means they are responding. Then you call for help. You still have to call for help. This is a case of fall. But a situation whereby you just entered, you quick scanning, you went to the person, they are not saying anything, nothing, they are not responding. Emergency immediately, you don't even need to waste time. So these things are two different things. I've experienced a situation whereby a resident had a fall. We walked into the room. It happened that they pee on the floor. He couldn't get to the bathroom, pee on the floor. But because, first of all, risk assessment, you have to quick scan. Otherwise, if I had rushed, because I saw them on the floor, I too will slip and I will fall down. I will fall down. But because I've seen it, I had to get it. And I saw it, him too was trying to sit up. So I had to get something and put on that wet urine and be able to go close. What happened? How did you fall? What happened? He was like, I couldn't get to the toilet. I did it here and I want to go back to bed. I sleep and fall. Please, can you get the chair for me? I said, are you able to stand up? Are you sure you can stand up? He said, yes, I can stand up. And I said to him, you can stand up. So why didn't you stand up before now? He said he was still struggling to get up from the floor. And I brought the chair for him. He put his hand and he stood up by himself and sat down. Even at that, I still recorded it. I did body map just to be, to be sure of what, just to be safe, just to cover my back. I did body map. I recorded what I saw and I reported it. I didn't ring emergency. Why? Because there is no emergency to attend to. He had a fall, yes, but he was standing up on his own. He stood up by himself. He sat down on the chair. But I had to get a paper to do body map for him. And I recorded it and reported it. So the letter came and asked him, you had a fall, yes, how did it happen? Are you feeling pain and all that? But I didn't bring him up from the floor. I have also witnessed going into a resident room. They fall down. What happened? How did she fall down? She was not responding. It's true, she don't have bed rail. There's no bed rails on the bed. Because of the way what they have there, when the person, I don't know how she had to move herself down somehow. So she slipped up and she fell. So the last person that attended to the resident did not bring the bed down. They left it up. The woman rolled and fall down, hit the head, the side table. It's not something I want to talk about. But she was not responding. Immediately I had to call for help. emergency. Everybody ran. It wasn't responding, but she was still breathing, but she was bleeding. Okay, so when I went into it, I did not say, oh God, I'm the first person that saw it, let me just quickly take this woman off from the floor and put her back in the bed. I didn't do that. So if you walk into a patient ward and you find them on the floor, what do? You tell them that you will call for help. As you are calling for help, that you will quick scan risk assessment to see if you can ascertain the reason. You are doing risk assessment because, let's take for example that they sleep because of water, there is fluid on the floor, they step on it and they fall down. You have to do quick assessment so you don't go and have your own accident as well. So like I said, if you are answering question, make it very, very relatable. Be practical about it. Be very, very practical about it. Okay, be very practical. You have to call for help. Except the rare case of what I told you, the man that had it for, he was standing up on it on when I came in. He said, just give me share, I want to sit down. But still, I have to document, I have to do body map, I have to report. Do you get the point now? So you must call for help. Do not bring the person on the floor. Tell them that you are not going to drag the person up from the floor and put them back in the chair, or you are not put them back in the bed. No, you are not going to do that. You will call for help because assessments need to be done. So while telling them, answer. Be real about it. Be practical about it. Yeah? The next thing they ask her, they said, in a situation where your line manager asks you to do what is against the CQC regulations, what will you do? Now, it is your line manager they are asking. Somebody was writing, so I pick a point here. Always make sure the bed is down to its lowest before going to the next patient. I worked I don't want to call the name, but this place is in K2. This place is in, as if you're going to Basingstoke. Yeah? The guy went into the resident room. After attending to the resident, he forgot that the bed is still up. And he is very tall, so he had to bring the bed to the highest so he can be able to attend to the man. After that, he said he went to put the pad or something like that, that he's not finished here, but he needed to take the pad out because he was incontinent and also he needed to discard that. Instead of him to bring the bed down, he left it up. To him, he just wanted to go and keep that in. And on coming back, wham on the floor, all of us ran. It was not a good experience. So omoye, that is a very good point. No matter how hurry you are, no matter what, make sure the bed is down. If the care plan says bed rail up, make sure the bed rails are up for our own good. Dementia that can't even remember how he fell. How do you need to call for help immediately? Okay, I work in fact, I'm a dementia carer. To be honest, a dementia person, when they fall down, so long they can still talk. They can tell you, I don't know. I don't know is a response. You are not asking them for them to tell you that, oh, they roll down from the bed. You are not asking them for them to tell you exactly what happened or how it happened. It is for them to say something. So for them to even hear and say something, you are ascertaining that thing has a short form. The level of response, are they able to say something? Someone that is unconscious wouldn't say anything to you. Am I making sense? I'm very bad with pronouncing some names. Oluwaseun. Am I making sense to you? So you are not asking them that question for them to tell you, I was asked this. Chimagorom, is it the case of fall? What did you say they ask you? Exactly. Then I will ask you, can the resident talk? Exactly. So you're not asking them that question for them to tell, like someone like me. If I fall down, you come to her, I will say I was sitting down, I was doing Facebook Live, and I raised my leg up. I didn't know how I slept. A resident with dementia, if you ask them, they will tell you, I don't know, I fall down. Some of themselves will be laughing, but at least they are responding. Are you feeling pain anywhere here? Here, are you feeling pain? If they tell you yes, so that is response. It doesn't mean that person will not be examined, whether they say yes or no. But what they are ascertaining, what they are checking is the response. Yeah? About the line manager. Okay, let's go back to that question is a case of abuse. That question is a safeguarding question. Safeguarding. You in a situation where your line manager asks you to do what is against CQC regulation, what do you do? For something to be against CQC regulation, politely I would tell the manager that I am sorry, I'm not able to do this because it's against the CQC. Yeah, line manager asking you to do what is against the policy. Yes, I will politely tell the manager that I am sorry, I'm not able to do what they have asked me to do because it is against the CQC. I will be polite with it. If the manager insists, or maybe they start threatening me with my job, then I will have to follow the company policy to report the manager to the right authority. I will tell you what, this question, they want to know if there's any case of that, how would you report it? Like, how would you follow? Are you going to follow the policy, the line of report, or would you just go and start telling your colleague that you will tell your colleagues about it so they can help you, or you will do whistleblowing? You may need to do whistleblowing, but it is important to say that you will follow. They ask does not sound they ask does not sound this way. I don't know. I don't Chinagoram, that thing you type is, I didn't get that. Is it question or statement? I don't know. So I have to politely tell him, the manager or her, that I am not able to do this. I'm sorry, I'm not able to do this because I'm afraid it's against the CQC regulations. That is what I will. But if the manager tries to press further, making me to do what is against the CQC policy, that I will follow the company policy on how to report things, and I have to report it to the right authority. So that is how to answer such question. Yeah. So I will allow her or him on the ground. Tell her, yes, so tell ambulance come. You must not drag them up. Don't raise them. I will tell you reason. Reason you will not. When somebody fall down, these people are vulnerable. Yeah, they are old. When they fall down, it means they said politely refusing. Does it sound disrespectful? No, it does not. It does not. You politely tell the manager that you were not, or you are not able to do so. You tell him or her that you are afraid this thing he has asked you to do is against the CQC policy. That is how to answer it. But if the manager insists to push you to do what is not right, that you will follow the company policy and procedures on how to make report and report it to the right authority. So going back to in the case of fall, my dear, if they fall down and you want, how do you bring the person up? Somebody that is not able to stand. Remember, there is difference between this person fall down, they are attempting on their own to sit down. Yes, Manual handling, have you been taught on how to put hand, how to do it? They are trying to stand up on their own. This one is different. They are responding. You want to sit down in the chair? Yes, that one is different. But a situation whereby this person is not responding at all. Maybe their eyes are open, but they are not responding. You have to immediately call 999. They will transfer you to ambulance. They will be asking you assessment on the phone. Is he responding? Is he doing this? Is he still on the floor? If they tell you on the phone to move the resident, which is unlikely, if they tell you to move the person to, except if maybe where they fall down, maybe in a very bad place, as you are speaking to the emergency, you have to tell them the situation or the condition of how you found the person. It is left for them to tell you to move or not move, or it is left for them to tell you ambulance will be with you within 5 or 10 minutes. They have been there before you came in, so why would you want to move them? Never you act except they ask you to do so. Did I answer that question? Somebody asked that question. Did I answer that question? Pascaline, yes. Pascaline, did I answer that question? Exactly, they will. That's what I'm saying. Which it is very, very unlikely. It is very, they asking you to bring. Oh no, they won't ask you to bring the person up. You maybe recovery position is fine if you have been trained to do so. Manual handling. Otherwise, they won't ask you to do it because I think I forgot what I was saying before. You could cause more pain. Yeah, because you could cause more pain. You might even break your back. They are paramedics. They have been trained on how to do this, so they know how to, what leg to bring up, the one that should be flat, which position to move the person, how they themselves will position their body while doing so. Just like we carers, I used to see people whenever they want to give shower, they will bend down. Why are you bending? Do you want to kill yourself? Don't bend down. Don't bend down. Rather squat. You want to lift something, somebody will bend down like this and carry that thing. You are doing yourself. Oh. This job, you are doing yourself. In the next 5-6 years, you start having back pain. A lot of people now in care are suffering back pain because of lack of training. Yeah? You don't bend down, you squat. I'm telling you, it is better when you squat to do that. Instead of bending down, you squat. So, another thing they ask her, is that all? Or between a patient who is seated on a wheelchair, a patient who is on the bed, and a confused or a dementia patient walking around the ward, who will you attend to first and why? They ask her. 3 different people is in a situation. A patient who is seated on a wheelchair, a patient who is in bed, and a confused or a patient with dementia walking around the ward or the hospital. Who will you attend to first and why? Remember, these 3 people needs help. The one on the wheelchair might be calling you, the one on the bed might be buzzing, and you have one that is walking everywhere. Who do you think should be attended to first? Let's see from the comment section. It is an interview question. Senior healthcare assistant, NHS. Between a patient who is seated on a wheelchair, a patient who is in bed, and a confused and dementia patient walking around the ward, who will you attend to first and why? Let's read from the comments. So the answer shouldn't be coming from me always, because people also learn from the comment section. Remember, the one on the wheelchair is calling you, the one in bed, maybe they want to use the toilet, you never can tell. Will you leave them to wet their bed? The one in the wheelchair, what if their wheelchair roll off, and the one walking everywhere? Which one should we attend to first? The one walking around. Why? The patient walking around. Why? The question is, who should we attend to first and why? The confused one, if he or she is going astray. Dementia one. Why? That thing is two questions in one. Who should we attend to first and why? If you say it's the dementia patient, then why? Why do you think it's the dementia one? Yes, the answer is the dementia, yes, but why? Why? This is because the patient walking around can harm him or herself. Other residents can be attended to afterward. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can fall over. Thank you. The confused one needs help with decision making. Thank you. The one walking around because he or she is at risk of fall. Thank you. Thank you. That is the answer. Yeah, that one can. You can even hurt other resident who is even in bed, or even that one in wheelchair. You can even go and push the wheelchair. So we got the answer. So there is nothing to say. The next one they ask her, why do you want to work with us? That is the number 9 question. Why do you want to work with us? I used to tell us, like Chinagoram that have interview, if it's NHS, go back and read their trust. Would you guys believe that somebody went for interview and the question they asked her was, please, can you tell us the NHS trust value? Their NHS trust value. Can she tell them the trust values of that NHS that she applied to? She was just looking. She said, hey, that she read it in the website, but she has forgotten. So what happens is that when they ask you about the NHS trust values, after answering them, they will start asking you questions based on the trust values. So if you don't get the trust values, interview have ended. So that was how they were able to reduce drastically the number of people they interviewed. So please, always read what the trust values is. It is in that trust values that you will hold to tell them why you want to work with them. What is their value? Does it align with yours? Why do you want to work with them? I don't know what or where you have applied for, but let me take for example, if a trust value of any hospital is welcoming, maybe actively welcoming, reassuring, I don't know what to list, but yeah, if they start asking you questions on that, good communication or whatever, now you can be able to start saying things. Because if you say that the value of the NHS trust aligns with your own goal or your own value, what are those values and how does it align? So to answer this question, you have to know what that company is into. For me, if it's a home that runs dementia service, I'll always tell them, I have this goal of owning my care facility tomorrow where residents living with dementia will be taken care of. So I love to work with you because this is the same services you render. So I want to learn as I'm working on how best to care for this resident. Because in the future, I want my care home back in my country to be among the best. That is why I want to work with you. And there is nothing more. I want to grow in the field. So if they are not running dementia service, there is no way I will come to apply there. If it's a nursing home where everybody have got capacity, I wouldn't go there because I don't need what they're doing there. I can only go to a dementia facility because I want to own a care facility tomorrow where people living with dementia can be cared for. So I want to work with them, study them, and know how best to care for them. So the last question they ask her is, what question do you have? Do you have any question? The last video I made, I want people going for interview, please do not make that mistake of not asking interviewer question. There are so many questions you can ask them. Find out the value of this one is we care, we listen, we deliver. Very simple. Are you not a caring person? You want to work with them because the trust value says that they care, that you love to care for people, especially the vulnerable ones. You have good listening skill. You pay very much attentive, listen to their concerns, listen to their complaint, and after listening to them, you always try to proffer solution. The ones within your job role, you always try to proffer solution. That is that deliver at the back. So the patient can feel comfortable and fine receiving their care. So why do you want to work with them? If in case they ask you that question, we care, we listen, we deliver. Tell them, I want to work with you just because after going through the job description, I found out that this is what I can do because the what is it called? The trust values aligns with my own goals and my own values as a person. I love to care for people, especially the vulnerable ones, knowing fully well that without me helping them with their daily activities, they are not going to do it themselves. And without me knowing that whenever I help them to achieve whatever thing they want to achieve for the day, they are happy. So I have to be the reason, or I am the reason why somebody is happy. It makes me more happier. I'm answering your question. It makes me more happier knowing that I am caring for someone and that care is giving them happy. It makes me happier. We care, we listen. That you listen attentively to whatever concerns they have. You don't get agitated because this person is complaining too much. To you, tell them to you, there is nothing like complaining too much. If a patient calls you 10 times, you listen to them 10 times and you offer solution within. Always say within your job role. If it's not what you can do, you have to get somebody who is in the better position to do that. If you answer this thing this way, sooner or later you will secure the job. Because why? The way I'm saying it, it is relatable. It's not something you cram. You love to care. You love to care because you understand that somebody you care for is happy because you cared for them. You understand that if you don't care for this person, they will not be able to achieve. If they want to bathe, they won't be able to bathe because nobody is there, because you are not there to care for them. You are not there to give that care. So make it relatable, make them understand that this is coming from within. No, it's not like I know it's coming from within. You love to care, you love to listen, you pay very much attention, you listen and you communicate with them in a way that at the end they will be satisfied. That is that deliver. Yeah. So always ask questions. Please ask them, find out. You want to know the type of support they give to their staff. Why? Because you want to grow in that field. So you would need all the possible support in this world. So you want to know the level of support they give to their staff. You want to do some trainings, you've got your care certificate or not, you want to get the care certificate, you want to do your level 3. Are they able to support you to do this? What type of or what level of support do staff get from the management? Do not go there and start asking, how do they report concerns? You are not coming to be complaining for concerns. Some things are left, are better not said. So say the relevant things and you are good to go. So me, most times I'm always focused on the type of support they give to their staff. I want to know so they can defend it. So that is all. That is all. And I'll be honest with you, this question I've covered a lot of things. A lot of things. So it's left for you to answer that question, make it more relatable. So Chinagom, do not fail this one you are going. You are going there and you are getting this job. You are coming back with it. We don't want to hear that you didn't get the job. We want to hear that you passed it. If anybody here is preparing for interview, please, you want to send a request to come up, I don't mind. You want to drop your questions in the comment section, I don't mind. Chinagom, you are welcome. Whatever thing it may be, I don't mind. But if nothing is coming, I will end the live and I will go to sleep. But this is me telling you that interviews are not hard. I am sorry, but that is the truth. Interviews are not, it's not that hard. So if you have any question, put it in the comment section. Bless you too, peace. I have one person on my YouTube and I have 17 people on Facebook watching me. Guys, listening for Kuwait. Oh, Pascaline. Wow, thank you. Thank you. For every other person going for interview, please make sure you get the job. Confidence. When you enter there, let me tell you guys one secret. Some of these interviewers, they are not better than you. They are not better than you. You are more educated than them. You are more exposed than them. You have more skills than them. And I need you to know that they are not doing you a favor by giving you the job. No. And you are not doing them a favor by applying for the job. No. Both of you need each other. If you don't need somebody to take that space to do the job, they wouldn't come for you. If you don't need that job to sort out your bill, you wouldn't go for it. So it's 50-50 something. So whenever you go for interview, muster confidence. Muster confidence. You will get it. When you ask, what skills are you bringing to the role of healthcare support worker? Wow. When you talk about skills as a support worker, number one, communication. Throw more light on confidentiality. Number one, communication. Tell them that you have, Somadina is my subscriber. Somadina, I'm coming, I will answer you. I think I'm answering Somadina already. When you ask about skill, tell them that you have good communication skill that you are bringing. That you are very good at team working. Communication is a skill. No, do not mention blood of Jesus. You will not pass. This one is they are dealing with human being. Blood of Jesus is by car. If you are doing car, you do blood of Jesus. Everything. You will make your supervisor to sleep. You will sleep. You will drive. God save you. You won't buy anybody. You come back. You pass. But for care interview, there's no blood of Jesus. So no blood of Jesus. You have to face it. That is the reality. So communication, tell them that you've got a wonderful communication skill, and for you to for you to say wonderful communication skill, they have to ascertain it there. The way I'm talking to you now, I have a good, I may not be perfect with English, like I may not be 100% with English, but guys, I can communicate very clearly. You understand what I'm saying. So tell them you have very good communication skill, that you have this skill or strategy of how you even talk to the hardest residents and they will listen. Tell them you have good team working. Teamwork is a great skill, that you work as a team, making sure that it is a win-win. You don't isolate yourself. You make sure that if your help is needed anywhere, you go there to support. Tell them that you have good listening skill, that you listen to resident concerns. You never get tired of their complaint. You listen to them and you give them your proper solution. Tell them that you have good management skill, that you know how to manage your time. You know what to do at every point in time. Tell them you have or what again, as a support worker. I've talked about active listening, I've talked about communication, I've talked about team working, I've talked about what again? I don't know. But yeah, I think I've mentioned something. There are other skills. Management, there are other skills, so other skills. Tell them you are very good with prioritizing tasks. You don't leave job for anybody. You know what to do at every point in time, so you prioritize your task. You make sure that you are very good with engaging the service users. You engage them to be doing something, and you are very good with that. Me, when I was looking for job, I could remember the admin then asked me, what is so special about you? And I told her that one thing that is very special about me is that I use dancing to get residents to do what they want to do. She said, what do you mean by that? I said, if a resident is being difficult, that I dance for them. Oh, I am very good with that. I will check my body for them. I will check my body. Before you know it, they will start laughing. Before you know it, they will stand up. Before you know it, we get to the toilet and all that. She started laughing. She said, you got the job. We can't wait to see you in the unit. And the first day I went to the unit, there was this woman. She was calling names. She was swearing. She was doing a lot of things. I didn't even say a word. I went to her and I was like, are you okay? She said, leave me alone. I said, leave me alone, leave me. This is what I started doing it. The woman started laughing. He said, you are funny, you are naughty. That was how we became friends. Anytime I see her, we will sing and dance. And that happens to be my own skill, my way of getting the residents to do what they want to do. So, for medication, Chinagoram, in the hospital, I'm not sure if you guys are giving medication. I'm not sure. That's why I said if it's in the care home, perfect. We'll talk about the medication. But in NHS, it is more of observations, ECG, what's it called? Blood pressure. I don't know why I'm forgetting things now. ECG, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, temperature, yeah, all those vital signs. They will ask you to check it. Then before you move the person to the doctor or the nurse or the midwife. Even now, some of them, they train them on phlebotomy. Some of them also take blood as well. Some, not all. So you don't really have much to do with medication. I'm not sure. This is NHS. Do not just give medication now. Please explain patient-centered care. Patient-centered care is giving care to the resident the way they want it, following their care plan. Patient-centered care, a care that is centered on that patient. How they want to be cared for is how you will do it for them. Following their care plan, so long as it's not against the law. This is what person-centered care means. That's why I used to say it is person-centered care, it is resident-centered care, it is patient-centered care, and not staff-centered care. There was a video I posted before I come live. Somebody said they thought I said different ways carers or staff approach resident for personal care. I did the one which is abnormal one. They came in, they greet the resident, they offered to have shower, and that resident agreed. They jump in the shower. Yeah, I have the one that went in, seek for consent, and this resident said they are not ready. She said, no, you must have to come out. Don't put me in trouble. My manager said all of you must come out. That type of staff is not doing person-centered care or patient-centered care. Why? Because the patient does not want to shower at that point in time, so you go and force them. That is an abuse. So you only do what they want, so long as within the law, not outside their care plan. Yeah. Yeah, I need to go and sleep. I'm very tired. Like my eyes is closing. I need to go and sleep. So guys, I'm leaving now. Let me go and sleep. I'm tired. I will post this video. I'm not gonna delete it. You can go back and listen again. Yeah. I'll see you guys later. I need to go and sleep now. I'm very, very tired. All right. Bye, everybody.